Everything, right? So I don't touch anything.
Yeah, I just started.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 18th movie club.
No, it's SWW show. What are you calling us a movie club for? You did this during pre two.
Oh, right, yeah, we did. Well, here's why I'm thrown off. We did the movie poll and got Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
That's what threw me off.
That's true. That's true. No one can see me. I'm doing the arm thing with Rocky.
The arm thing.
You know, he puts his arms up when he wins.
So you're raising your hands up?
Well, both of them.
So you're
And like a
raising
fist.
both hands up?
Yes, yes.
So you're like the double Black Panthers?
Oh, no, I don't like that. That's bad. That's bad. But yeah. Yeah, this is the SWW show.
This is the
I'm
SWW show. This is the
not movie club.
20th
Yeah.
SWW show, then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's AJ. I'm Mike. We're here to talk to you about everything.
No, we're not.
Oh, damn. But everything was a very interesting video game that came out a couple years ago.
Interesting is, yeah, I would for it.
Okay.
I wouldn't
So
use the words good or
it's a
necessarily
very,
enjoyable.
but it was a very, I think it was like the era of like No Man's Skies, like very interesting concepts were coming out. So we are now in like week 4 or 5 of quarantine. So I've got to ask AJ because
It's five.
okay, so you have your governor has been on TV a lot, and I feel like has been taking criticism. How is Michigan?
Fine.
Uh, do you guys, what is it like when you walk out? Do you have like the police escorting you, or?
No.
Okay, interesting.
In
Who
fact,
do?
I've probably seen fewer police on my way to work
That's pretty funny, actually.
than before.
Nice. But yeah, context everyone, obviously, we are still in quarantine. The world is still exploding. So maybe, do you think maybe like 6 months from now, it'll be like the world all blew up and this is like an aliens find the recording of this as like these were humans?
No, see, well, I was gonna say you now live in Florida, but when you lived in Chicago, I would say you and I are probably going to be the last podcast to exist because the coast will get swallowed up by the rising sea levels, and everybody in the South will just turn into just chaos. Midwest will survive.
But hear me out though, the South is all the military bases and all the people who know how to use guns.
Exactly, so they'll use them on each other.
But if you could be the last one standing in the military base, you're good.
So then, when you get to the Midwest, where all the nukes are,
Oh, this is true. This is the problem.
then
Okay,
that's
interesting.
what you forget. Like, a good chunk of nation's nuclear arsenal is either in Michigan or Minnesota.
Because those are very interesting states. But yeah, it's because Canada. That's why.
No, it's because of the 45th parallel.
Oh, I assume it's because we were scared of Canada.
Now, do you want to know the actual reason why they're there, or do you just want to joke about?
Why are they there, AJ?
The 45th parallel is the
North Korea, South Korea.
no, Russia,
Oh, Russia.
North Korea, and South Korea are the eighth.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's the fastest way to get over the pole to drop
Mm-hmm.
a nuke onto Russia. So,
Mm.
yeah, so that's
Interesting.
why there's a bunch of like Titan 2 silos in Montana.
So I've always kind of wanted to just get a bunch of money and then just like buy one of the old abandoned ones you could live in.
Those are getting more and more expensive because like 20 years ago, a bunch of just eclectic people had the exact same idea and bought a bunch of the ones that
Hmm.
were habitable. Um, but there are ones that if you wanted to put the work into like pumping the water out and doing a lot of that work yourself, you could find for, I'm not going to say cheap.
But relatively for what you're getting.
Yeah, in terms of like size, yeah, it's cheap, but it's also out in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm, interesting. Okay.
And you're usually on like some farmer's field.
See, that's the way you do it, right? So that's that, or my dream retirement home has always been a joke. If I get one of those like spots in Louisiana, like the old like World War II giant estates.
I mean, like a slave estate?
Okay, we don't use those terms anymore. It's not. I wouldn't use it for that. I just meant in general, like one of the big ones. Like it
Oh,
would be
yeah,
like like a swamp and stuff.
the um like tobacco estates in the Carolinas or the cotton estates. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you picture like a giant house like on middle of a swamp, kind of like a couple acres.
You're looking at a couple hundred acres, but yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Like those things are awesome.
I'm
They're
not saying they're
they're
practical.
colonial buildings, so they're probably still standing.
Yeah, interesting. I found an old. It looks like I found an old military silo for around. Looks like 300K.
That's incredibly expensive.
Not for a house.
Where are you buying?
It says Central Kansas.
That's incredibly expensive for central Kansas.
Okay, yes. There are some that I found a website. It's called militarybases.com.
Could we buy an? Here's an idea.
Okay.
Here's so obviously the SWW show is going to be based in either Tennessee or Vegas
Right, right. Because we
because
want to go gambling. We
well,
established this. We're gonna have a podcast room in the middle of like one of like the Vegas casinos, so we could see
yeah,
everything.
yep. So we're going to we'll probably be based in Vegas because zero tax.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but then like my dream, just like remote location that we have, is an old airport, like an old regional airport,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just have the runway just to screw around with.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
That would be a lot. Okay.
We could
Interesting.
probably find like an old air base or something like that.
Yeah, a bunch of abandoned ones. The issue is the government doesn't like parting with them.
I mean, give the government $1 and they'll part with anything.
No, the thing actually I would like is, can you imagine like setting a base in like an old theme park?
It would have to be like between two or three.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I don't want some like knockoff, you know, even shadier than Dolly World.
Hey, Dolly World is a hell of a time, I've been told.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you know, it's like it's not exactly a beacon of quality in terms of rides and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Except it's rated pretty high, I thought.
Yeah, well, it's such a like you're on any given day, there's a fairly good chance you're gonna meet Dolly Parton. Like that's one of the things that kind of drives that park is just if you're a fan of her music or just
Mm-hmm.
that culture in general, you're gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I mean like an old I mean obviously the one that would have been cool, unfortunately it was underwater for so long, is Six Flags in New Orleans.
Right. Don't for record people, don't go there. You will get arrested.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had many when working at Six Flags. We've had many briefings or discussions about that park.
Yeah. So something like that you know, obviously like pre it getting uh body slammed by Katrina.
That's true. But hear me out though. We're just not going to move someplace that's underwater.
So Indianapolis.
Ah, yes, everyone's dream moved to Indiana. Actually,
Well,
Indianapolis is fine.
you know, so all joking aside, you and I have actually talked about like
We have,
of the places if we were going to turn this thing into an actual business, where would we put it?
and Indiana has come up.
Yeah,
Because Indianapolis is a decent regional Midwest size. We talked about decent transit to and from.
yeah, it's a decent airport. It's got connections everywhere. Um,
It's,
it's fairly cheap
yeah,
still.
Indiana as a whole is fairly cheap. Indiana is like the step before, I'd argue, Michigan and Illinois when I look at Midwest, when it comes to like cost
Yeah,
and structure and infrastructure and all that. It's
yeah.
not like Kansas, Nebraska, but it's not. It's probably equivalent to like Wisconsin.
Outside of the cities, I think Wisconsin is just a. It's like 40 years behind, which would mean it's in the 80s.
Hey,
You
that
can
sounds
ask Dan. That's probably accurate.
that is true. Um, I guarantee you, he'll probably be like, He works in Wisconsin. He'll be like, that sounds right.
Yeah, but he works in Milwaukee, right? So
He works in Milwaukee and he went to school in Whitewater. So,
yeah.
and Whitewater is like 40 minutes out of Milwaukee, and like Whitewater is. Have you seen Blue Mountain State?
Is this a rhetorical question?
So it's yes, you've seen Blue Mountain State. Perfect. Whitewater is Blue Mountain State.
You knew the answer to that question before you even asked it.
Of course I did. We've all seen Blue Mountain State.
Like, is it something sports related? Oh, AJ's probably seen it.
Not only that, Blue Mountain State, I feel like is one of those shows that like transcended sports in a lot of ways, of like cult wise,
Oh,
because
it
it's a
was
cult show.
definitely a cult show. Like, it wasn't super popular. It still isn't super popular, but its
Wasn't
audience is a die-hard audience.
wasn't the movie about him making like a theme park or something too?
Yeah, Bad World, I think it was.
Yeah. No, it was like Chad World or Thad World. You're right, Thad
His
World.
name's Thad, so it's
Thad,
Thad
yeah,
World.
Thad World. Jesus Christ. Okay, back to housekeeping since we're off tangents. Um, so yeah,
Also, until you mentioned it, I forgot that there was a movie.
we all did. So MomoCon, as we talked about before, no MomoCon this year. It go away. But there is an online version of MomoCon. They are going to be streaming talks and discussions and all that stuff. I think on their Twitch channel and their social media, and we are going to do one. We still need to figure out some details on it and when it goes up. But yes, keep an eye out on that, and we will let you know.
The biggest problem is the last time we did a panel similar to what we're doing, we only had half an hour, and it still felt like we had way too much time.
So we're gonna have to figure this out. But yeah, keep an
Yeah,
eye on that. Keep an eye on MomoCon's social channels, and we'll be there.
we'll
So
be on
AJ,
Twitch. Like
we
we'll
will
be on
be here.
Twitch.
That's
So,
true.
uh,
Uh,
best behavior. Hide your
Nips.
Well, that too. I was gonna say hide your red and white. Splash of black.
Can I borrow some pasties then, so it's safe for Twitch audience?
Why do you assume that I have pasties?
Same. You watch Blue Mountain State.
I'm not saying I don't. Well, okay. I don't think I have any more.
There we go.
Um, no, we'll have to get some. Well, seeing as how he's no longer running, I think Bernie shirts are probably on steep discount.
They always were on discount.
So we'll just get Bernie shirts and then. Yeah.
Because hear me out. I'm gonna offend everyone for a second, right? Okay. So his audience tended to not have a lot of money anyway, so they had to always be on discount.
I'm
It was,
legitimately curious how much were the shirts like just standard price? Were they 20?
campaign shirts tend to be like $25, $30.
Which like $20 isn't bad for a t-shirt.
No, but you have to come for it. Does that include shipping, taxes? Like I agree with you fundamentally, but it probably at the end of the day isn't.
Why order online? That there were so many rallies. I'm sure you could just walk up and just, hey, here's a 20. Give me a shirt.
Okay, so to put in perspective, Jim Bob Biden, I think it's his name, right? Who's running for president? His shirts are $30.
I guess depends on the material too.
Yeah. $30 for a shirt. It's high. I don't know if I'm super offended by that amount.
No, I mean like if it's an American Apparel shirt,
Hmm.
totally understandable.
let's see. And if you go
If it's a
to,
Jilden, no, it should be like 15.
and if I go to Donald J. Trump's website, let's
Boy.
find how much. To be fair, if
So
you were just gone to his website for campaign wise, they have he. For a bit of your opinion on the man, he has the best gifts. He has the greatest gifts.
so how far down your bookmark bar do you have to go before you hit that website?
Bookmark bar. I typed in D and it took me there on Google.
Oh, I figured if you typed in D, it was probably like dickdestroyer.com or something.
So first page on his campaign thing, right?
Hmm?
No t-shirts yet. We
Yep.
have the official Trump puzzle, and it's just him behind in front of a flag with the thumbs. Uh,
What is the website?
shop.donaldjtrump.com/collection/gifts. I think I'm under. This is what I meant when I told people in the beginning we're talking about anything. So yes,
Okay, you're
the
under
official.
gifts.
I'm under gifts apparently.
Okay, so the puzzle, which that is
It's
a
200 pieces,
terrible photo.
but it's so great. Irish Americans for Trump. I
Which I hate to say it, I don't believe the Irish would go after Trump.
I appreciate how there is wrapping paper. Which one?
That was good.
That's good. Can
These
you
also
imagine if
got
you?
snowflake and Christmas trees.
Hmm. I like how this dog collar is always good. Oh, so did I ever tell you I do own the official Donald J. Trump fine point markers?
Why?
So for my birthday, one of my friends got me the two of them for my birthday last year. They come in sets of five for $15 actually.
I mean, that's not terrible.
Like, but again, price wise, it actually made sense. It's real weird.
Are they good?
They're fine. I don't know what to expect. The cheap fine point. I appreciate, by the way, this. So again, from a campaigning solely point of view, okay, we're just gonna go down that road for a second, right? My favorite item. Do you know what my favorite item on the store is?
Is it the Trump Pence 2020 beach towel red?
No.
On
What do
page
you?
3 of 4 at the bottom, with what appears to be the um. Sorry, it appears to be at least one of the wives from Duck Dynasty and maybe daughter.
No, that is not it. You know what it is? Trump straws, pack of 10 for $15.
That was good. Now I'm
Liberal paper.
curious. Do you think those are metal straws or are they?
No, they're plastic straws. That's what makes it funny as fuck. Because here it goes. Liberal paper straws don't work. Stand with President Trump and buy a pack of recyclable straws today.
They're BP. So yeah, they are definitely plastic. But I mean, like 15 is high for a
10
10
so.
pack.
Oh, by the way, Trump shirts are also $30. I found the Trump section.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a random shirt. Go. We'll go page 3.
I appreciate though, for every black female, you could tell they purposely try to get like how close to Michelle Obama can we get?
Yeah. All right, so I'm on the Space Force shirt, which is $30.
Okay, okay.
Without looking, how big do you think it goes?
Oh, like triple XL.
Yeah, it's 3X.
But I bet you, knowing Trump, if I go to the female section, it goes to like large.
Actually, let's find
Am I
out.
wrong? I wouldn't be shocked.
Um, Trump 45 because the 40. What the, all right, let's take this girl that's gabbing with some braces. Okay, I'm on a women's shirt. It's $30.
Okay.
Size
I said it goes up to large.
goes up to a triple XL.
Does it really? Wow.
Yes.
Did not expect that.
Also, his hats are just terrible.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying the hats aren't terrible. I just argue. His team's really good at branding, and
Also, he
and
has a hat that just says woke.
that's funny as fuck.
I okay, I have to give it to his design team. The Space
Yeah,
Force logo is cool as hell.
and also can we appreciate? So we were on. I was on Joe Biden website and Donald Trump's website. So what did Donald Trump have? Probably 200 things you could buy.
There were at least 3 full pages for everything I've been.
Okay, how many items do you think Joe Biden has on his website? Items. Don't look.
I'm
No
just going
cheating.
to his website. Probably. I'm not gonna donate to you, you goof. Probably. I'm gonna go with 50.
7.
7.
And quote, order and printing fulfillment has been suspended.
Well, that makes sense. Like,
But like 7.
I mean, he's keeping it simple. Like, I gotta give it to
His
him. Like, he's
his
very.
campaign has 3% of the cash on hand on Trump, and I think why. I know why.
It's not because of apparel.
Okay, well he's also just bad at fundraising, right? Look at it too.
Also, okay, what is the shirt that's like the New York public transit font? You know the shirts that I'm talking about?
I think so. That sounds right.
There's one on Biden's website that's Joe and Beto and Amy.
I did. Yeah, I did see that one.
What are those from? What's that a
Well,
reference to?
that's the people who ran for president
Well,
before
no,
him
I
that
know
endorsed
that,
him.
but like those style of shirts, what is that a reference?
Oh God, I don't know. I know. I've seen. I don't know.
Because I mean, everybody has those.
Hmm. Also, I appreciate how long do you think that took a graphic designer? 2 seconds?
For the list of presidents, yeah.
Or the list of candidates? Yeah. He literally just
Or
they
yeah,
went
sorry, list of
they went
candidates.
when they printed they went who endorsed him? Okay, and they just kept hitting enter.
Yeah.
Okay, actually zoom in on the picture for a second. Notice the difference between where it says Joe compared to any of their names. How much closer? I think they've got a space.
No, it's with all the E's.
God, that just looks like off. I would have lined up the and signs, like line up the front and the back.
Yeah. Well, then you run into the problem of like the and for Joe compared to the and for Beto would look really weird.
No, what I would do is you take all the ands and you put them to the right, like right, align them with the periods for Kamala and me because they line up basically.
Again, that would look weird because it would be like Joe double space, triple space, and Beto double space, Amy triple space. You know, like if you want to go on a graphics tangent, you generally don't want to do that
Hmm.
because it just looks off.
Hmm.
And with something like this, you never want it to look off.
Okay, we will talk about this when you meet the first person you see walk around with anything Joe Biden because I guarantee it'll be a while.
Oh, absolutely. Only because I feel like the controversial opinion, the Trump audience maybe isn't as educated as, at least the diehard fans are not as educated as any of Democratic.
I don't know if I agree. So it gets weird. So if we're gonna pull the poli sci hat for a second, right? And we're not talking policy, we're talking like the actual voting records. Um, it's very interesting because that has only been true since Trump. That like Republicans used to win, like Mitt Romney won the college educated crowd, for example.
Well, I feel like Trump just dumbed his stuff down.
It's so what happened is Republicans used to do really well in the suburbs and then they would do iffy on blue collar workers. Trump basically switched that when now Republicans do well in blue collar workers and bad with suburbs, and that's why he won the states he did to become president. Because
Yeah,
Michigan is a state full of blue collar workers. Ohio is a state full of blue collar workers. It's stuff like that.
I mean, Illinois is a state of blue collar workers as well. Like,
But it's
if we're being
like
honest, like
they're
obviously
different.
Chicago kind of throws that off.
it's Chicago throws it off, and then when I say blue collar, let me phrase it like manufacturing based blue collar, not like waitresses.
Oh, I
And
mean, Illinois still got a lot. They've got a lot of
but
refineries and stuff like that. Like,
percentage wise, it's not the same from a population wise.
oh no, but
That's
there's
what I mean.
still a large
There's a
industrial sector.
large industrial complex, and I remember correctly. I think Hillary Clinton underperformed Barack Obama by a couple points in Illinois. Like not enough where it was close at all, but she did underperform. I think.
I mean, was
Where
there
Michigan and Ohio is
any
like
chance that Obama didn't like?
no,
Let's be real.
he won his Senate seat in 2004 with like 70%. No, like no, Illinois has not been a swing state since like 2000.
Year 2000.
Hmm. Okay, now we're gonna jump back to our show notes second. AJ, it says you've played nothing here. You
Uh, Fairly accurate.
interesting. I've been playing then the Warzone continually
Which
with.
you and I need to get on the BattleNet friends list so we could play with each
Okay, we'll talk about that.
other. We're gonna give each other virtual hands.
I like it. So Warzone, we have it down to a T. Um, so what I do is my goal is, what do you think the two types of weapons I need always are?
You probably use a marksman rifle and like a assault rifle.
False and false. So I need an LMG for my first one and an RPG for my second one.
That's just
Because what we do is we get a helicopter, and then my job is crowd control or other if other helicopters come.
okay.
It works really well. It consistently gets us top five.
Well, that's called hopping in a helicopter and bitching the fuck out.
Usually we don't actually. We take the burning building in the middle of the map, like the big blue one. Usually is what we try to get, and then
Here,
from
I
there we
never
have a.
go to the center. Like I always
Okay.
jump along the outskirts, and then like stadium is a popular destination for me because there
See, I
are
don't like
two.
stadium. It's too open.
Well, no, so there's two super easy scavengers at
Hmm.
stadium. So like if you do one or two on the way to stadium, by the time you get to
Hmm.
stadium, you're getting like 120% bonus
Hmm.
um, for cash. Which so obviously for you, since you don't own the base Modern Warfare, cash means almost nothing.
Well, yes and no. 'Cause I actually built a class just for that now.
Yeah, so I can call it like it takes me since they upped the cost of the loadout drop. I think three scavengers is how much you need to get a loadout drop.
Okay.
Then you need an additional 40, I think it's 4,500 self revive.
Hmm.
So one person in your squad needs to get up to 14,500. Everybody else needs to get 4,500
Mm.
because you only need one loadout drop code.
Interesting.
Also, I think those are rechargeable. I think they're a field upgrade. The loadout drop. Because I've called in two without buying a second.
Hmm. Maybe. There are some logistical parts. I don't know. But yeah, I'm getting better at it. Uh, I really so you know what I really like doing also shocking is getting in like the ATVs and then going on a hill and flying over.
Of course,
I've totally done the comical thing of a helicopter's taking off, doing that, hopping out of the car and it hits a helicopter.
that's the action movie.
100%. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to play the new XCOM game that came out, but I completely forgot to download it until I tried to play it last night and went fuck. Because have you watched this? There's a new XCOM. I think it's Chimera Squad or whatever.
Chimera. How you
Chimera.
pronounce that?
But yeah, because they literally made an XCOM game for $20. If you bought it as of I think May 1st, it's $10, and it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well,
Which
it came out of nowhere because they didn't announce anything. But in terms of
yeah,
like if you looked at how long it had been since the last project,
So, yeah, Firaxis' last DLC was 2019 early, but really last full game was Civ 6.
well, and I think I have to imagine Firaxis is big enough that XCOM and Civ are teams.
My understanding is they are different teams. My understanding
So
is I don't know if they're always full. My understanding is I think there's like they're each like 30% and then the other 40% of the company floats between the two projects is my understanding of how that works.
yeah, so you're gonna have the two work.
Right. So you have
Excuse me,
two
in
skeleton
tandem. So
teams, basically, is what it is.
well, 30% isn't a skeleton.
But okay, that's rough numbers. But the whole point is that my understanding is it's like two teams that are like focused, and then you have a bunch of floaters, kind of like Art probably floats and stuff.
Yeah.
You
So
probably
the
have dev and
last
programming.
yeah the last XCOM was what 20. Well, was it two? And then the DLC for two.
For what stuff Firaxis makes, they don't make everything obviously for the stuff. They made XCOM 2 in 2016, and they also made Civ 6 in 2016.
Well, but again, like the last XCOM project, so that was 2016.
Yeah, they
So if you,
released War of the Chosen in 2017, which is their DLC, and they did make it.
yeah, so yeah, 3 years.
Hmm
Like I mean, three
It
years
makes
you're
sense.
looking at like okay, the next XCOM thing is probably this year.
Hmm
So I don't think necessarily the time, like the year, surprised anyone.
hmm It was more them not pushing it at all. Surprised
Yeah,
anyone.
the fact that they're like, hey, we're gonna drop this right now, and it's $10 for the next 2 weeks.
Right? No, not even if they're going to drop it. It's $20 normally and $10 on sale. Like that's that margin of anyone who's somewhat passing the series goes, yeah, I'll spend $10.
Yeah,
So I
and
mean,
like honestly, if we're talking about releasing a, I'm not gonna say it's necessarily triple A
but
because
it's decent quality. It's not going to be double A either. It's totally that weird.
yeah, it's like double A and a half.
Hmm
Um, like this is, I hate the term triple A because the easiest way to describe stuff like that is through
hmm
sports, at least for me. And if you're talking AAA, you're talking AAA baseball, which isn't the majors. So like 2K and Activision, those are the majors.
hmm
And so like AAA would be a step below them, which would be Firaxis.
hmm
So in a way, Firaxis is a AAA studio, but not
They
in the
are,
sense that the majority of people use it. For me, they are because they're like a step below.
but I'd say they are triple because so they're owned by 2K. They're ran by Sid Meier, and I like these are things I agree with you. They are so part of what I think makes them different is they're one of the last few studios standing of that type of game that is of that quality of that type of game.
Oh yeah, they totally own that market.
Like stuff pops up obviously. Like I would argue like Galactic Civ pops up, or we have an interview coming up actually in our pipeline for for there's a few games that for Galactic Ruler, which is owned by like that's another one of those teams. God, I'm pulling this up, but like Battle Goat, another one that's kind of similar-ish. They're just not as big of a quality kind, like big as name recognition and stuff. Like their other teams exist.
Like, are you saying you're laying pipe for us? Like,
What?
you said it's in the pipeline, so you're laying pipe.
Damn right, I'm laying. So I'm gonna lay pipe. Just don't turn on the water till I'm done laying. I don't get wet.
And also, he only progresses at about 5 inches at a time.
Because I use you as a foundation. Anyway,
I mean, if you're using me as a foundation, we're progressing at like 7 at a time. But
perfect. Let's see. So we are in isolation as we said. So partially, I've been rewatching. So I have two podcasts here, and I'll explain why. For what I've seen. So there's Talking Sopranos now, which is similar to we talked about the Scrubs thing last time. It's
well,
very similar
until
concept.
about 40 minutes ago, it was talking Sopranos, not Sopranos.
Hey, hey, hey! Don't badmouth my people like that.
I wasn't the one who typed it wrong.
Fake news.
I mean, you were the one that typed it wrong.
So yeah, so obviously I just watched Sopranos, so I'm not rewatching Sopranos, but I'm listening to the podcast, which is interesting. But I am rewatching Scrubs. Hear me out. Scrubs is one of the most underrated sitcoms of the 2000s.
I'm not a huge fan of sitcoms, so go for
You don't, have you seen Scrubs?
episodes.
So what I think I like about Scrubs is it takes risks and is objectively more serious than you'd expect a sitcom of that era to be.
Okay, if we're talking sitcoms, I can think of maybe three that I watch.
Okay.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's one that I watch regularly.
Right, I knew that.
And then Archer, which is kind of a sitcom.
I'm pushing that term, but I'll give it. I don't know if I'm giving it to you, but I
I
understand
mean,
what you're
like,
saying.
what are adult animated comedies? Like,
I don't know. I'd just say they're adult animated comedies. I wouldn't even put them on sitcom. That's my
but
difference on
if
that.
you're gonna lump them into a,
I would lump them under animation. That'd be like I wouldn't put Rick and Morty as a sitcom.
you do know what sitcom stands for, right?
Situational comedy. I,
Exactly.
but yeah, it literally means that. But we both know we don't really like when we define a term. We have expectations what that means.
Well, there's a lot of sitcoms that aren't sitcoms. Um, and then, I mean, I kind of floated through, um, shit, what's the one on? Like, I'll occasionally watch some episodes of like Schitt's Creek or something like that, just when it's on TV.
Hmm.
So it's not a show that I'm necessarily watching. It's just like, oh hey, Schitt's Creek is on, and there's nothing else on TV that I want to watch right now. So
Hmm.
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Scrubs. So the reason I think Scrubs is very interesting, though, foundationally, is because again, it goes back to it's. I feel like the issue with all this that comes, and I think that's why like either you have two lines of like they get uber serious, or they get too wacky, and I feel like Scrubs is very interesting. Of like in the same episode of like 22 minutes, you'll find like they do a skit of like something obnoxious, but then they have like a serious topic because they found a way. And like Scrubs has been known as like medically, if you listen to doctors talk about it, like Scrubs looks the most accurate, which is always interesting about that too.
Yeah. I feel like going back to the one that I watched, Brooklyn Nine-Nine seems to do the same thing where
Oh yeah,
he'll
Brooklyn I've
totally
heard.
Andy Samberg will be the guy of like, oh hey, I'm such a goof.
Hmm.
But it's also like, oh, season was it? It was like season 2 or season 3. Rosa Diaz, who's one of the characters, she's bi, and like throughout the season, it was a storyline of she needs to bring that up to her mom,
Hmm.
and like that when they would show that, it was pretty serious. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, okay, you got Andy Samberg doing Samberg things, which is hilarious. Um, but it's also like, hey, this is something that doesn't really get talked about,
Hmm.
even in everyday culture, which unfortunately is the situation. I mean, like, well, I would never have to have that discussion with anyone that I know. From my point of view,
Hmm.
you need to like society as a whole, and it's not just in the states. So people that are from outside of the U.S. that love to bash the U.S. for like,
I would actually argue in a lot of ways. The U.S. I know gets a bad rep, but I argue is a relatively decently accepting society of that.
I think the reason that it's seen that way is the reason it's seen that way is because we're the ones that are most public about
That's true.
like also the other side of that situation.
I think we don't hide the other sides as much as I'd argue some
Yeah.
even Western societies do.
There's a lot of European countries where it's still, unless you're in the city, it's still very much a no-no to be
Where the difference
attracted
is,
to.
I would argue, and someone's going to yell at us, that Europe, like we tend to like the American identity includes the countryside or the suburbs and that too. Where like if I look at Europe, when you picture Europe's identity, you picture like the cities.
Yeah, there's two distinct identities
Where like in
for
America,
Western
it
Europe.
is right. But in America, it's one identity. It is like if I say explain
Yeah.
Americans, like if I look at it, like I understand we're like New York and then LA, but then this random place, but like we totally are like when you say Americans.
Oh yeah, like I mean that's the joy of living in a country that's what 200 and
No, it's like 330 million.
no, I was gonna say 200 and like what 70 years old.
Yeah, yeah, some
So it's
sure.
still very young in terms of on the
Which is
global
funny
scale.
because yes and no, because so like history lessons then, right? Germany and Italy are both countries that are younger than us, but they're founded in countries that are older than us.
Well, yeah, I mean like okay, if we want to talk about first off, if you want to talk about the German identity, that's like a 5 hour discussion.
Right, right. But I'm saying, but Germany as a country called Germany is like
Yeah.
1870.
1850,
It's okay, but you know what I'm saying?
I think
Like
is the exact year. But yeah.
but it's in the for sure modern. We like
Oh yeah, in
Germany is a
terms of like
historically ancient
modern
country.
times. Yes,
Hmm.
it's young in that sense, but the German identity, like especially if we're talking about like the heart of Germany,
Hmm.
the German identity has been around for thousands of years.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the American identity has existed since, you know,
Oh, by the way, it's
1750.
1870. It's 1871. It looks like.
Well, I think that's as a country, but I think 54 was like the first time that somebody ruled over what
When
is
did Bismarck?
roughly
Because Bismarck should be the first.
Otto von Bismarck was the first technical ruler
Hmm.
of Germany.
Hmm.
Um,
Bismarck era starts in 1868.
68.
As I knew, I knew I'm not saying you're super off. I'm like, I just had a hunch it was 60s and 70s.
Well, 50, for some reason, 54. That's maybe a
He
region.
became Chancellor of the German Empire in 1871,
Well, the German
which is
Empire didn't exist until like a
right,
real
but
64.
right, but the whole point is because Wilhelm the First is kind of like the first emperor. I got it. So it was still Prussia, which is really weird too. When do we stop? Because
Prussia existed, I think, until the 19th.
which is funny because Prussia is Germany. Like it's this weird.
It's a
It's
region.
over. Okay, but it's totally weird how it overlaps in that way.
Yeah,
It looks like yeah, he abdicated the throne. Oof, the throne was abdicated in 1918 with at the end of World War One.
yeah, because the Prussians fought in the First World War. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think Prussia is like that region that Germany always takes over.
No, that's the yeah the well, I've got the term for BS. I think you're right.
Um, kind of that northern, like, unfortunately, Poland's there because they just kind of
Mm-hmm.
got thrown in there.
The Rhinelands.
Yeah.
That's the term I was looking for. Yeah. Okay.
Well, the
Uh,
Rhinelands are around the river, so
it's that around it.
I'd be saying like the Midwest.
Okay.
Although
But
that's not a good example because the Midwest is kind of a floating definition.
yeah. So you know I always like by the Midwest. So we I would argue in the broad if you say Midwest at its broadest is Michigan to probably like Kansas, Nebraska, but on its narrowest, no one can quite agree.
Okay, as two people that are from the Midwest, you and I can both definitively say the Midwest, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan.
That's see, but okay. Where's Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri?
I consider that like Missouri's just on their own. Um, I consider like Iowa and Nebraska to be um, what's the breadbasket?
Bible Belt?
Oh, Bible Belt's the South. The
Right. No,
center,
Bible
like the
Belt is the
plains
South.
area.
Okay. But hear
Um,
me out though. So this is where it gets weird. So I'm looking at the map right now, right? I agree with you on the eastern half, what you said. So if you look at polling though, and this is what gets fascinating. No one can agree if Missouri, Tennessee, or Kentucky is in the Midwest, or if they're in the South. It's literally split. No one can quite agree.
I feel like if any state has an argument, it's Kentucky.
I think Missouri is the same way Kentucky does.
I don't know. Do you want all that crack in the Midwest?
Okay, we already have Indiana.
Well, Indiana doesn't have that kind of problem.
But the
They
whole
have a
point,
problem. It's not that much.
but like, it just gets really weird if I look at it because, so Tennessee, I think, is the argument to be best made. It's a southern state. It's the best argument, right?
Yeah.
Kentucky's really weird because like it touches West Virginia, and we don't know if I don't know if we really define that as the South.
Well, that's a northern state.
Okay, and Kentucky's a, a little. There are points with south and north of West Virginia, and not a ton south.
Well, okay, so the only reason I say West Virginia is a northern state is because it was created from the Civil
Okay, but
War.
he out though. But Kentucky was with the Union.
Yeah.
That's what gets weird.
Like,
This is where, like, what do we define it as? Do we define it as Civil War?
well, so now you're discussing northern and southern states. Like, if we're talking Midwest, I don't consider West Virginia in the Midwest.
I don't either.
Um,
So the term I've always heard is how we should be defining this stuff a little bit better is we should be looking at like the DMV area and Pennsylvania and like Ohio kind of as this weird um
Ohio's Midwest. Like, we're not telling me that's
but it,
Appalachia.
no because we so another argument to be made I think like if I start defining it industry wise should be like Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I think could be an argument.
Yeah, but like in terms of intrinsic values, Pennsylvania is not a Midwest state.
It's really close. I think Pennsylvania is not that far from Ohio from values, especially Western
It's
Pennsylvania.
it's way more.
Philadelphia, I tend to agree with you. But Pittsburgh tends to be very Ohio-like because where it is.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh is like that is a true Rust Belt city. Like,
So the joke I once heard was it's you have Pittsburgh to the west, Philadelphia to the east, and Alabama in the middle.
yeah, yes and no. Because like in the middle, it's very much like it's a lot of Amish and
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
more complicated than.
That's
But like,
definitely not Alabama.
but the whole thing though, but like so Pittsburgh is the like I understand Philadelphia is a very different city because it has a historic context, but Pittsburgh very much is the like if I look at Pittsburgh and I look at Cleveland, am I looking at that different enough cities?
Yes. Want to know why?
Why?
Two different industries.
Okay, they're both. I understand they're physically different industry, but I argue they're both these blue collar kind of that type of industry.
Well, steel workers are way different from like UAW workers,
Hmm hmm
which Cleveland is a UAW town, so is Detroit. I mean, Detroit is the UAW town.
hmm
Milwaukee, very heavy town. Like, steel workers have this different pride about them.
hmm
Like, the union's always been there for the UAW.
hmm
Whereas steelworkers, like the steelworkers union, is a very powerful union, but it does not stand a chance against the in
hmm
terms of influence. It's just a different culture. Like,
Yeah,
so,
okay. But let's see. So under the section of the show we call "What We Have Done," nothing. We are in isolation. The world has ended. Is that accurate?
sure.
Okay.
I mean, my world hasn't changed because I'm still working.
I
But
am too, but I'm work. It's weird. I'm working remote and all that,
yeah,
and my job is not built for that. Okay. We have F1 update. AJ, would you like to tell the peoples?
F1 has gone Bananarama.
What does that mean?
So the driver that you agreed to support
Hmm
before the season started, Charles Leclerc, the young Ferrari driver, is now a streamer on Twitch.
Okay.
Because what else is he gonna do? And he wore a banana suit
hmm
on stream, and now Mercedes has joked about it on Twitter, which Mercedes is not a team to joke.
Interesting. Really?
Uh, not until I'd say not until like last year. Their social media was very serious,
Hmm.
which is weird because the team that they bought out to become Mercedes was kind of a fun going team.
Hmm.
Um, which the story. Okay, quick aside: the story behind Mercedes F1 and the team that they bought, Braun GP, is amazing.
hmm
I'm not going to explain it because there are a bunch of people on YouTube that have done that job, do it better than I would. Um, and just the short of it is Braun GP was founded out of Honda leaving F1 even after they had designed a car.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross Braun was the head advisor, head technical, whoever, like his position at Honda for the F1. Bought the team for a pound, a literal pound, British pound. And the Braun GP car is the most recent non-big team to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Red Bull went on a tear. Mercedes has been on a tear. Ferrari is obviously Ferrari. So, like, those are the big three. And Braun kind of, like, surprised everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They were this team that didn't have an engine, had a chassis, didn't have an engine, made a Mercedes engine fit the back of their car. Which, so for those who don't know, Formula One cars are super, super specialized. And so are the engines. So, like, for Braun to make, to get a Mercedes engine, because Honda obviously wasn't making it, that whole chassis was designed around a Honda engine. Well, now you're putting an entirely different engine in the back. And while they may look the same, sizes are going to be different, weight distributions. So
Mm-hmm.
they had to, quote, make it work, but they ended up just going on a tear.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Charles Leclerc is now the most popular F1 streamer, overtaking Lando Norris, who had 102 or 103,000 views on his stream to watch Codemasters wreck of a game, F1 2019, completely shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. Nice. So we're about to go into the news. Before then, AJ, I believe it is time for a 2-minute break on the recording side.
Mike has to pee.
Yeah, it's early in the morning. Back in 2 minutes. AJ entertained the people. Anyway, it's on to the news segment of the SWW show. We have some decent chunk of news. AJ, I feel like half of it's wrestling.
Let's
Or
see.
wrestling adjacent.
1, 2, 3,
4.
3.5.
Okay, so let's start with the wrestling adjacent news. AJ, the XFL is no more.
Shocked Pikachu face.
Hear me out, okay? So there's a lot of. I think I am very curious. In a world where this didn't happen, would the XFL have survived the 2 seasons it was set to survive for?
Yes.
So I think the answer is yeah. I think because they had the funding for it, and right now the issue was there was zero return on investment. Then at least there's a shot.
Well, obviously they had the investment from Vince, but then their TV deals were a 1-year deal to start
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted, the networks wanted to see, okay, what are you going to pull? And they were pulling way better than they should have.
Right.
So, yeah, I think at least season 2 would have done well enough financially to fund a season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they would have lasted longer than a third season, but
like we had a world where we could have seen what they could have done with the second season iteration. Could they have gotten better? What's interesting?
Well, it would have gotten worse because all the good XFL players would have been poached by the NFL.
That's true. But I think what's interesting is when this all started, I believe Vince McMahon said WWE did not invest into him directly, and then when they filed bankruptcy, we found out WWE owned like 15% of their shares.
Well, Vince owned, so he's the majority shareholder of WWE.
Yeah.
And he sold shares to fund the XFL, and then Titan, which owns WWE, invested in the XFL.
No, but the difference was though there was WWE direct shares as the owner of shares. I
Yeah,
understand
because
it's also sold
um,
shares, but
Titan, like, they don't list Titan as the company that runs WWE or owns them. They just
mhm.
list WWE. So, if you ever wondered why it's called the Titantron, that's why.
Mm,
They always say, "Oh, look about the Titantron." That's why.
interesting.
Yeah.
Also, they own 50% of Tap Out, which is always weird. Um, but
Well,
continuing on
they
the
tap out fairly recently
yeah,
and
I agree.
kind of turned it into like a competitor to the Reebok UFC stuff.
And the competitor's Under Armour.
I
Totally, it
guess
is.
now because Under Armour's been dropping like a rock,
Mm-hmm. Okay,
which
but yeah,
that would be a real shame to see if Under Armour goes under.
what it?
Oh, they would definitely. They're doing terrible.
Mm,
Um, because if you think about like where would Nike be without Under Armour?
mm-hmm.
We'd be in tennis shoes and basketball shoes. That's
Mm-hmm.
and some running stuff, and that's it.
Hmm.
It wasn't really until excuse me, man, it is definitely early. It wasn't until Under Armour came in with their wicking stuff that was like, hey, we're gonna focus on football, it's on basketball, golf. Like it's a weird thing to say, but if Under Armour hadn't existed, the golf game would still like in terms of apparel,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a lot of you're wearing khakis, not
Mm.
these like wicking. Still look like khakis, but have this wicking technology in them, so they feel a hell of a lot lighter and sweating your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So continuing on our train of we'll call it the WWE train. You ready? All aboard? Chugga 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 chugga.
Who? Okay, who is the conductor of this train? It's
Obviously
definitely not Vince,
it's Triple H, obviously.
or is it Steph?
Ooh, I've always said that I think too. I think realistically, in the front-facing point of view, it's Steph, obviously, because structure in the company. On the back end, I bet you, because Triple H runs like Triple H, without without NXT, there would not be WWE really as it is today, and Triple H really runs NXT.
Or
He
does
defines the next.
Shane McMahon look
He
this train?
Shane McMahon is like the person who walks around with the food cart asking what you want to eat.
No, I totally feel like Shane is definitely since he went kind of back to behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Like he's the whole reason why WWE is big in China because
Yeah.
he was the one that pushed that. Um, because he went off and did their TV, like not TV in terms of show that they put on every week,
Hmm.
but like the TV side of it.
Hmm.
He went off to do that and got him big in China. So I would say he probably, in terms of like, okay, the conductor that stands on the platform and blows the whistle is either Steph or Triple H,
Hmm.
but the conductor that actually checks to make sure shit's working,
Hmm.
Shane.
Hmm. So
I
yeah,
know way too much about the WWE.
this is accurate. So yeah, so it's one of the big things is so the first thing is it is essential business now in Florida, which was sketchy to begin with. So they are
I wonder
continuing.
why.
Do you want to hear the actual story why?
Is it because Linda McMahon is on the Small Business Council?
No, it's because she gave $16 million to RNC.
Oh,
That's the real reason why.
that helps.
Yeah. And then the other thing is WD just like furloughed half of their middle people, if not all.
They cut a bunch of people.
So let's see. Let's see if I have the list because I have a Sports Illustrated article. It was a good. Okay. Including these leases are. This is what got me. Rusev, which is shocking to me.
He hasn't
Drake,
been on TV in a while.
but like of this list, I think he might be the biggest name. There's a few other decent names on here too. Drake Maverick, which I really don't care. Zack
Go
Ryder.
watch. It's probably gone now, or at least you wouldn't be able. There was a really good thread on Reddit. Hey, here's the best match from
Mm-hmm.
all of these people that were released.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch Rockstar Spud and EC3, which is Drake Maverick and EC3,
Hmm.
in I believe Japan. It's an amazing match.
But yeah, Drake Maverick, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. I think were bigger releases.
They hadn't done it. I mean, they
Heath,
were in that graveyard match, but that was about it.
Heath Slater, no one cares.
Well,
Uh,
Heath Slater was huge for merch, so that's going to be interesting.
Eric Young, no one cares. Rowan, no one cares. Sarah Logan, I was actually upset about. I think she's really good.
But she
Uh,
hadn't done anything.
that's true. My boy, No Way Jose, they let go of. How long till No Way ends up at AEW? I'm just saying we need some No Way Jose.
I mean, you'll
I
see Machine Gun, Carl Anderson, Gallows. See,
I will. I am willing to bet you Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows will end up at AEW next year.
you're thinking it's going to take a year?
Okay, okay, well, a lot quicker, but like realistically, I bet you we will see them at AEW.
I mean, Carl Anderson, like the day after he got released, already had his new Titantron. See, I'm saying it. His new video out.
Yeah.
The return of Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Guess who
Uh,
it featured pretty heavily?
who?
Oh,
Shocking.
shit! What's his? Is it just Luke Gallows?
Yeah.
In Japan.
Oh, I don't know.
Forget if he had a name as well.
But yeah, totally. They will be. They are not going anywhere. Let me rephrase this one.
I mean, they're OG Bullet Club members.
Yeah. Also, I do think they are like they can be really good.
Given a good coffee burps, and I'm glad that we don't have smell of it. It's disgusting. Um, they are, if they had the right. I mean, look at Carl Anderson. He's got 5-star matches
Yeah.
up and down the board. But they brought him in as a tag team, which
Mm-hmm.
fine, whatever. But they never put him with either Finn Balor or AJ Styles,
Mm.
which is really weird because when they did the whole Balor Club thing, like that was totally a hey, we don't own the rights to the Bullet Club,
But it's
but
the same idea.
we can do Balor Club, which
Well, they also did the
looks
thing
like
with
Bullet
AJ.
Club.
They did the thing with AJ Styles too once in a while.
Yeah, but I mean, it was not like it was. Oh, hey, they're AJ Styles' muscle,
Mm-hmm.
which is really weird to think about because Styles could hold his own.
I was gonna say Styles Ballard looks like he needs muscle way more.
I don't know, dude. Like, I don't have a thing for dudes, but goddamn that man.
Jesus.
I feel like okay, for being honest, I feel like Finn Balor is the one guy that like every dude would be fine with his significant other hooking up with. Like of course the dude's just shredded. Like I don't care. Like
The dude's just shredded.
I mean, he is like
I
you look at him and you're like, I totally understand. I
totally have fun.
totally get it. It doesn't bother me.
You like do the thing where like you push her in the room, be like, have fun, and you close the door.
You're like, hey, you know what? Like, good on you.
You're like, are you sure you met her? One of those.
I'd be like,
Okay.
hey, you can have Finn Balor if I can have like, I don't know. I'd have to go down the women's roster and find like,
That's not that hard. I can think of like 4 immediately.
well, like think of just when I say
Alexa
that,
Bliss.
like choosing one.
Alexa Bliss.
Here's the problem. She's the right size for you. I'm a foot taller than her.
Accurate. She's short.
Yeah,
She's like 5'1".
I was like, she's barely 5 foot.
I'm sorry, she is 5'1". I was right.
So like, yeah, I'd have to go with like, I mean, if we're going by height, like Charlotte is one of the only ones that's my size.
I got the girl for you. Hear
If
me
you say
out.
Nia Jax, I'm gonna reach through the screen and strike.
I don't have a girl for you. I apologize.
Honestly though, I would like Rhea Ripley.
Oh, too much.
What do you mean?
All the piercings, all the look.
I'm like her not in her get up looks amazing.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Peyton Royce would be, I think, more your height.
Peyton Royce.
Hmm.
Is she 6 foot?
She's 5'7".
She's your height.
Okay, when I say your height, I mean I
Yeah,
assume she's gonna be shorter than you.
I understand. Charlotte Rhea's right around there.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
I
okay.
would probably say no to Charlotte just
You're scared it'll pop again.
that and I just look tries too hard.
And then final WWE news. There is gonna be no WWE 2K 2020
In 21.
or 2021. It's skipping 2020. Let me phrase the statement.
Skipping the year.
And then we were quitting this on Saturday. As of Monday, something's happening with the WWE license.
They announced there was another project in the
Right.
works. So I'm guessing it's either a return to it's called All Stars
Hmm.
or it's another mobile like uh Supercard.
I feel like though the way they were teasing it, it sounds like it's something like a bigger game, so a console or like it's something more than a mobile thing, is what it felt like.
I mean, this is 2K. They teased a literal roulette wheel
This is true.
for NBA 2K20 as, hey, we're going to have this new feature in NBA that's going to revolutionize the way you play.
Speaking, so AJ, you just led that to me perfectly. One of the other interesting stories I have listed here is ESRB
Ladies and
announced.
gentlemen, that is called a segue. And you know who's good at them? Me. You know who's bad at them? Mike.
Is that the thing you ride?
Spelled completely different.
No joke, I thought they were spelled the same. Not even kidding.
One of them's a French spelling, the other is Segway.
I thought they were both spelled that way. I'm not
No,
lying.
it's Seg.
Oof, would never have gotten there. Okay.
It's a French pronunciation.
But yeah, so the big thing is effective, I think immediately. All boxes for the ESRB rates, if they include like loot boxes or whatever, there's now a tag on their things for included in-game purchases and includes random items under the listing.
I was surprised the way that they worded this.
Yeah, because they're very clear in their posting I posted. They're very clear, like we didn't use the word loot boxes because they felt it was too restrictive.
Yeah, so like they're fine. Like they will put the in-game it includes in-game purchases, which I don't know if the App Store does it, but the Android, the Play Store lists like contains ads, contains in-app purchases. Like
So Apple actually has it to the point where there's a difference between free and get for free, I believe is the term. There's a terminology basically where it goes, is this a true free game or is this a free to download game? They're very clear on the differences there even.
so, but this is like okay, we will put like contains in-game purchases,
Hmm.
but the thing that will get you flagged and put on the rating sticker is the random items.
Hmm.
So like Modern Warfare, so the current Call of Duty,
Hmm.
is there's no random items.
Right.
You just buy the blueprints or buy the
So that would
skins.
include in-game purchases, but
Yes.
not random items.
So it wouldn't get flagged on the sticker, which is already an M game, so whatever.
Mhm.
But like a Overwatch or here's the problem: a lot of these games have already switched off this model.
This is so. What's interesting about this? And again, this is the problem with digital games and physical ratings. Is it's at the time of release. That's how those work for the physical box.
Yeah.
Because my understanding is they're not making them go back and get re-rated. I believe online they are changing the rating. So like if you go to the store, it will reflect that, but the physical box, they're not like making them recall the boxes and we push them out. Because there's a difference between them patching a thing versus the infamous like hot coffee mod where it was like those are different lines.
It is, but what people don't realize is the whole hot coffee thing was like you basically had to break the game.
Oh no, I'm not saying it was like a true like click two buttons. It was there, but they think the line is different.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like these, you can patch out the random box a lot easier than, oh hey, there's a disc and here's a
Right.
extremely detailed walkthrough on Kotaku. I think it was on GameSpot originally.
Hmm.
Of here's what you need to do to get the hot coffee scene.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean this is, you know, 5 years too late,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
But it's very interesting that they're doing it.
it's been interesting to see kind of how ESRB has been dragging their feet with this. Like,
So general question, have you seen the No Clip documentary on the ESRB?
I have not. I'm way behind on stuff.
So that's the one I think you should check out because there are very few times where ESRB very clearly does not let people in there and talk to them. Like they've done recently, they've done a little more PR stint, but they're usually a very quiet organization.
Which makes sense. Like the MPA is the same way. Like these ratings boards aren't necessarily the most sexy thing.
And also like the people who actually do the ratings, they don't actually show because there's anonymity to them.
Yeah.
Because
So
like
it's like,
they'll do stuff like they'll hire games journalists or game developers a lot of times to do it on a part-time basis too.
yeah. So it's like, okay, you're rating this, and
Hmm.
you know, it's not fun. Like it's not, it's not reviewing a game, right? It's not like, oh, we're enjoying this. It's you have to look at
Hmm.
everything. You have to go through everything. And
Uh,
it's the same thing with movies. Like the idea of, oh, I want to work for the MPA and rate movies. No, you don't.
hmm.
You're gonna hate because you're gonna have to pause it every 5 seconds to see, hey, is there an ad for a tobacco company that
Hmm.
didn't get edited out? Is there, is there a shot of, for instance, like um, an actress is wearing a very deeply cut dress? Like, is there any slip that would
Hmm.
need to be cut? Is there, stuff like that? And then you have to write everything down.
Hmm.
You send it to the studio or the editors, and it's like, hey, here's the stuff you need to fix if you want this rating.
Hmm.
And then you have to watch it again. You're watching a movie like 6 times. It's not a sexy job, and I'm sure the ESRB is the same thing.
Hmm. The SAP is different though, from talking to people personally, of just the nature of how you present to them is very different though, because the ESP, you don't give them a copy of the game, you give them like a video clip with the most offensive things.
Yeah. Well, that was always the infamous, like when South Park was getting rated.
Hmm. So like, we just need the game. You're going to hand you the game.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, I think, because also the reason that works on a fundamental level is because they have an honor system, kind of like, fine, but you lied to us once, like all of a sudden it costs you 10 times more next time we have to do this in depth. Like you
Yeah.
have an incentive not to lie to them if you want to make more than one game.
Also, if you want to make any money.
Yes, because you can't be on consoles without an ESRB rating.
I thought you could because that's
No,
how like what is it? War Thunder got onto the PS4. It wasn't rated.
you could have a future rating if you're an early game. You have to be in the pipeline for ratings or be actively seeking the pipeline. They do have it cheaper and easier if you're an independent going through the process, but you have to be in there. So you could be not
So
yet
yeah.
rated, but you have to go through that
Well,
process
that's
when you
how
are officially
wasn't
released.
it? Daisy got around it that way. Like,
Right.
hey, we're
You
gonna
could
be in
delay
early
it.
access forever.
Right. So then you don't have to at that point, but like there is as much as it's gray and mucky in modern times, we do define early access as a different thing than a release product.
Yeah.
You gotta logistically should we, but like we do.
Yeah.
Uh, so the next two stories I have, which are my final two stories, are both Bloomberg. As we get to there, though, I didn't put there, so I'm curious if you caught this. Did you see the whole Jason Schreier leaving Kotaku going to Bloomberg thing?
I saw he was leaving Kotaku, and then it
Yeah,
was like a couple days later he was going to Bloom.
yeah, he's going to be a tech reporter. So general note, I'm giving Kotaku 6 months. Is my
You're
current
generous.
estimate. Because, and this is not like an. Actually, I do have some problems with some of the stuff they write. But like, my issue with Kotaku was if I look at like we'll say Big Five or Big Six gaming sites, it was towards the bottom tier of like what people talk about, and I feel like he was the name people talked about.
Well, yeah, it was always my reference to a lot of this is through the Giant Bomb podcast network.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they mention a Kotaku article, it was always Schreier.
And I was saying they don't do it. They obviously do other things and have other staff, but I feel like it's not like so like IGN is a mammoth, and it is IGN and GameSpot are number one and number two, and probably just will be number one and number two until they die.
I don't think I can name a journalist for IGN.
But hear me out though. I don't think that matters. I think they're so big that it's the brand.
Yeah, they're just faceless.
But I think GameSpot's a very similar thing. I think you could look through and find people, name them, but like that's not what matters about those brands. But when I start going down that list, like Giant Bomb is solely on personality. I'd argue
Oh yeah.
Polygon. I don't think I know them, but I'd say Polygon is a lot of times a personality. Waypoint before Vice kind of squashed them was personality.
Speaking of Vice, did you see they laid off 300 people?
Yeah, yeah.
Also, my
Let's
dogs are
just
going.
so like part of it right now is views are up across the board, but the issue is ad money is down. So it's actually costing websites to serve more people.
Yeah.
Which cuts me to the next thing is so we've talked about Magic Leap a few times, and it's great tech. They laid off 1,000 people, which is about half of their people.
I didn't realize they were that big.
They're 2,000 people.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were that.
Magic Leap's valuation was $10 billion to put in perspective.
Yeah. Like, I could totally see that company being a $10 billion company working with 150 people.
I'm just very curious because buried in there, the other big thing is talking about how they're no longer going to be direct to consumer. Their goal is to be B2B.
Makes sense. That's where you make money.
It makes sense. It's just very interesting because they were the entire time Magic Leap was one of those weird anomalies. They're like, no, we are going to the consumers.
And then they realized you don't make any money doing it.
Oh, 1,000%. Oh, because yeah, if you go to B2B, you can also make it in bulk volumes and a lot of logistical different things. And it also could be a little bit rougher a lot of times.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for the final story, and also a Bloomberg piece that we're pulling. This is a giant Bloomberg report. I'm going to pull some pieces from as we go. It's Sony plans limited PlayStation 5 output in the first year. On face value, AJ, before we get into this specifically, should we be releasing new consoles this year, do you think?
Yes.
Should we wait? You don't think we should wait a year?
If they can do it. Like, if they can get the production lines working, absolutely. Release it. Like, release some, all them limited editions. You know, like the day one Xbox.
So my immediate concern is, realistic, we're going to be in a depression at that point. In a world scale.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about, we're going to go to the next piece immediately now. They're talking about the price of the sucker between 500 and 550.
Because of production problems.
Right.
So, yeah.
So we're going into a massive economic downturn and then upping the price of this significantly.
Yeah.
And that's immediately, I think there is a concern there of...
I mean, in 2006, the PS3 launched at $599 US.
And the goal for your company is to not repeat that.
Yeah.
If you're Sony especially, is to not repeat that.
Yeah, both companies have kind of screwed the pooch their last two consoles.
It's the third console trend is what we call it. Look at its third consoles. N64, atrocious. It killed Sega.
Well, I think there were more problems that killed Sega, but yeah.
But it's totally a funniest thing of like Xbox One's the third console, PS3 is the third console. Like you see the Atari is the third console.
I don't think I don't think the problem with the one was the third console problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was just their approach.
Right. Yeah. Oh, the one was just bad PR marketing and
The
stuff like
fact
that.
that the head of the company got up there and said, for those that aren't able to be always online, we have a console for you. It's called the Xbox 360.
In 2020, I think that'd be a choice thing to say. In 2013, it was especially.
Well, considering you were making a huge leap in terms of output,
Mm-hmm.
granted the Xbox One was nowhere near as powerful as it was reported to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the 360 was maxed at 720, and even then you were chugging. Um, and then you have a console that's going to be 1080, and supposedly oh, we got this dynamic rendering that will allow games to run better, but you have to be always online. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can't do that, hey, guess what? The 360 is going to have to hold you over until you can.
There's so much atrocious things. The other interesting though, back on this Bloomberg piece, though, I find interesting is it sounds like, according to the source, is both Xbox and PlayStation are playing chicken, and they're basically it sounds like if one of them plays chicken and pushes, the other will push, but they don't want to be the one that pushes first.
Yeah.
Because again, we're talking about, it looks like the numbers they're going to be able to produce is around 5 million on a global scale in the first 6 months. To put in perspective, they sold 5 million in the first month in the US originally for the PS4. Like, the numbers we're talking here are so constrained, and they want a global release.
Yeah. Well, again, just release them as limited editions, because the only people that are going to be spending that money are your diehards.
And that's true, but the issue is, so like they released it in 2013 last time, right? For both companies. Then I understand the economy was more middling, but like the economy was an upturn then. People, like, even Christmas, a lot of that was like Christmas and stuff too. You could at least see, like, it was, the economy reflected a higher level gift where this economy will not. And that's what's very interesting about it.
Especially because if you think about, I think it's the UK is their furlough system is 80%.
Mm-hmm.
I think Canada's is 80. Well, the States, we don't have a furlough system.
We do, and this is, I disagree with that, because we have the beef up unemployment at this point to actually the unemployment right now is maxing the average U.S. income.
Well, but I mean, we don't have the furlough system that we had in place. That's the thing, right? Like, the UK and Canada had a system in place.
Mm-hmm.
US didn't, so they kind of had to make it up as
Well,
went.
we had unemployment insurance. It was not as broad as their system.
Well, there's a difference between unemployment and furloughing.
But
Furloughing is like, hey, we're gonna put you on furlough, and
that's true. But the
you get
current rules in the
80%.
U.S. are, if you're furloughed, you get unemployment.
Yeah. Well, again, current rules. Like, they had to change the rules because of the situation.
But I'm saying, but like there is a broad sense though, because like in the U.S. right now, we defined rules, so now contractors and furloughs fall under unemployment insurance.
Yeah.
So like I agree with you. It's not quite the same, but like I find it very dishonest when people are like, well, you get one $1,200 check. It's like, not really. There is a lot more to it.
Well, and like, if you were actually laid off, oh yeah, you get to file for unemployment, and they were adding $600.
Which, if you look at the average U.S. income, it actually hit it.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I could file for underpayment.
Mm-hmm.
So, because like my weekly is under 600,
Mm-hmm.
so I could file for the difference to get up to whatever 600 plus unemployment would be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, because it's pointless at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't get that money until probably all this, until most of the people were getting back to work. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Again, I think it, and I'm not saying, I don't think also we're talking about too, the money we're talking about here is not enough to buy a $500 system, right?
Especially when, I mean, rents are at an all-time high. Mortgages are fairly steady. Like interest rates are down, but in terms of
And so if you refinance
amounts,
and stuff, yeah.
yeah,
I bet you will see in a lot of places they're going to try to delay or drop property taxes. So like you'll see if you have a mortgage, you'll probably see some level of a drop.
yeah. I mean, like I'm looking at a new place, and like at this point, it might like I'm just waiting for the bottom to fall out in the houses, and I'll just get a house.
Yeah, we're about to hit a housing crisis. That's
Like
going to make 2008 look good.
yes and no. Like I think there's a lot of people that never recovered from the '08 housing crisis, so they're all in apartments.
Yes and no. I'm not disagreeing with you. There are some people that mean I think you look at numbers and see a good chunk did, and like a significantly proportionate chunk did, and decently well. Because we looked at pre all this, the bottom half of the country was actually growing wages at a decent rate.
Yeah. Also, hey, you want to go in on oil for May delivery?
They're paying us, right?
Yeah, it was
Negative.
37, I think.
It's God fucking damn it. Which general oil note for the record? Because um people look at that number as you go. Oil, for the record, to make profit for most businesses has to be between like the $50 range. To put that number in perspective.
Well, there's entire countries that rely on the oil price. Like Russia's
If I
ruble is directly tied to the oil price.
if I run like an oil-based economy, I am shitting myself.
Yeah, especially if you're a big country.
Yeah. Or even if you're like Iran or any of those. Kuwait.
Yeah, I mean Dubai is hanging on a very, very thin edge.
Hmm.
Kuwait's doing fairly well because the U.S. is so invested in it.
That's true, but if we're not buying, our reserves are full right now too. So like,
Well,
especially when we're buying.
not like we're buying oil from them, but there's a shit ton of bases there because
Hmm.
hey, Saddam Hussein definitely has weapons of mass destruction,
Hmm.
so we definitely need to invade Kuwait because he's definitely going to use these weapons of mass destruction.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, we're super invested in the Middle East because there's a shit ton of Air Force bases and Army bases, and hey, there's also this little thing called oil.
That's true. Okay. So yeah, let's jump now to our ye old games to watch for. Well, from games not delayed, I pulled out some of the more important ones. Coming out in about a month from now, we have the BioShock collection for Switch, because I will be playing those games again
And when's Crisis coming out on Switch?
soon. I think it's around the same time.
Because I want to invest in fire departments
Hmm.
because there's definitely going to be houses burning down that are trying to play Crisis on the Switch.
What?
You think the Switch can handle Crisis? I
No
think it's
joke.
going to overheat and just catch on fire.
Am I spelling crisis wrong? How do I spell?
Why?
So see,
It's
that's why.
cry.
Yeah, okay, that's why I'm having trouble finding. I'm like, what the hell is it not? When do you come out?
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember Cry Engine.
right. Yeah, no, I was just thinking, 'cause a different game kept Crisis Core kept popping up. I was very confused. I don't. Where the fuck's just coming soon? I think.
Yeah, I don't think they ever announced a date.
I don't think I have a date. I can't
It's
find a
just
date at least. Summer.
okay. Hold on.
I got summer is all I got.
Apparently the Kim Jong Un dead hashtag is trending.
Oh yeah, no, he might be dead. We're all
So
celebrating.
may or may not be dead. Here's how you know he's dead. If he actually is dead. Uh, if they don't say anything,
And mystically, his sister is just leading stuff.
well, no, if they don't say anything, then you know he's dead.
Hmm. If
So,
he shows up, he's not dead. Okay, but if there's someone behind him with like a puppet master, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, then Game of the Year 2020 comes out next, which will be Fast and Furious Crossroads. General note, why does that game look like a PS2 game?
I haven't seen anything about it, so
It looks, do you know that image in your head of like what an early PS3 game looks like when you get like an open world game?
hmm
It looks like that.
okay.
And then Wasteland 3 is struck by last time. I just have it here. It's delayed to August 28th. Sad. AJ, do you want to explain to the people what are we doing with this movie club nonsense?
Sorry. Apparently, the streamer Alinity,
Okay.
who I guess has committed many TOS violations on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
uh, totally flashed the stream, um, and hasn't gotten suspended or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was an accidental flash, but there's a thing on Twitter of her with the nip slip and a dude in the stands with like I can't tell what it is. It's inflatable something and like stroking it like he's jerking off. And it says Alinity, and it's the video of her, and then Twitch staff, and it's the video of the kid jerking it. Like, oh man.
Jesus. But yeah. So,
So, and I guess there was staff in her chat. So
ooh,
definitely know there's Twitch staff just jerking it, working their
Jesus
jerky.
Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Twitch is in a very interesting situation.
This is true.
Do you ban her for how long do you think? Like, because yeah, the first is what 24, and then it's 3 days, and then it's
Yeah,
ban.
sure.
If they, I mean, because like this isn't the first. This isn't the first like nudity thing that's happened with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently she did a stream where she was down like on the ground or whatever, wearing I'm gonna say running shorts because
Mm-hmm.
I actually never saw the video because it got taken down before I could see it. But there was a guy that recreated it with a fake ball sack and it was hilarious. And I guess she like rolled over and completely flashed her crotch to
Camera.
the camera. So and they didn't do anything with that. And there's a lot of people that are like Twitch is completely just Alinity is basically softcore porn, and they perk their jerk to it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't do anything. I think a lot of people a lot of streamers at least, will just ditch Twitch. Like
Mm-hmm.
they'll go to Mixer, they'll go to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Shad Khan really do the draft from his yacht?
I think I did hear something about this. But yeah. So movie club, AJ. So explain. So we did a Twitter poll as we talked about. We did last time. Let's. I'm gonna pull up the results of said Twitter poll because I'm very disappointed with the people.
I
Because
was surprised by the winner. I'll say that.
I also so here was our four options, right? It was Star Trek, Star Wars, Terminator, and Rocky. So for a while, Star Trek was winning, and I mean like it was between Star Trek and Terminator, legitimately until like the last 12 hours of this freaking poll. Then Rocky comes out of nowhere and wipes the floor.
So
It
I
was
definitely voted for.
I voted for Terminator.
I think I did Star Trek.
I was about to say I was Star Wars.
I didn't vote for Rocky, so
Going into it, I assumed Star Wars had the shot of winning just because it's Star Wars.
the Rocky movies are going to be Rocky 4,
Okay,
2.
that's what we decided.
That's what I decided just now.
So
Uh,
Rocky 4 and Creed 2.
if we're being honest, you only need to watch Creed 2 because it basically covers the entire plot of Rocky. Uh, Also, I forgot Tessa Thompson is in the franchise.
That's true. Because this was during the era where she was everywhere, but no one knew who she was, so we thought it was different actresses every time.
I mean, she's got a pretty distinctive look.
But it was totally like it's Tessa Thompson. It goes like if you look at her from like Thor to Creed to like Sorry to Bother You. If you told me those different people, it's passable.
Mm, she's a very distinctive face in a good way.
Mm-hmm. I think Men in Black is the first time you see her. I go, okay, no, that's Tessa Thompson.
Yeah.
But Creed has to be one of her first big roles too.
IMDb. Westworld the first season may have been out at that
It was
point.
close, I thought. I could be wrong on dates. I could thought
I think the first season was
Creed was
Creed was
2013 was
15.
yeah, and then 13 should be Westworld. No, Westworld's 16
Let's
for
see.
her. She got
She
16
was
Westworld.
in Veronica Mars, apparently.
Okay, let's look at big movies she was in. I think the first big movie she was in was probably Dear White People, and then Selma.
Exquisite Core. 13th Floor. I never ended up seeing that. Dear White People, yeah, and Selma were the same year.
I think those were her first big roles.
Creed. Ragnarok, sorry about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was in Annihilation.
Like no, now she's become a name, but I feel like you could totally see where that was kind of the tipping point.
She was apparently Lady in the Tramp.
Oh, did not know that.
I never saw that movie, so.
Mm-hmm.
Creed 2. Which. So it's not listing it, but it's 20.
Yeah.
Creed and. Well, especially Creed 2. The visuals when Creed comes out are amazing.
Okay.
So. Forward to that.
Get ready. Okay.
Anytime he's walking to the ring. God damn.
Beautiful. So yeah. So just to clarify the people, then we're just gonna put this way: your old movie technically will be Rocky 4. Your new movie will be Creed 2. This
Basically,
is
just watch Creed 2 because, like I said, they cover everything.
also watch Rocky 4.
Watch Rocky 4 just for the training montage
That's it. No one
with
cares. Is this Eye of the Tiger?
Eye of the
Rocky
Tiger
3.
was from the first one.
Oh, it's a different. There was a different song. I thought like Rocky 3. One of them was.
Rocky 3 was. Hold on. Let me go to Sylvester Stallone. I should just click on Rocky.
Hmm?
Rocky 3.
Rocky 3 is Eye of the Tiger. I'm looking at it. I was right.
Yeah, but
Was
that
it
was
cool?
Mr. T fight. Yeah, and Hulk Hogan.
That's what I'm like positive as Rocky 3. It's not Rocky 1 for Eye of the Tiger.
That song was written for.
Yeah. Also, it was Newt Gingrich's entrance song when he ran for president in 2012.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which I think's me. It was also Mitt Romney's, but but Newt Gingrich makes way more sense to Eye of the Tiger than Mitt Romney.
You know what I never saw? Rocky 5.
Is that just Rocky?
No, there's Rocky. Rocky is 6.
Hmm.
That was. Well, there was Rocky Balboa, which I guess is 6. Is there just a Rocky? No, it was Rocky Balboa. So I believe that was originally just called Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became Rocky.
Interesting.
Creed.
Khalid. Okay. But yeah, as we talk about upcoming stuff, we will be doing a digital version of MomoCon. Details coming out soon.
Tango.
More interviews. more interviews will be coming through the pipeline that AJ needs to edit while we're in quarantine. Otherwise, yeah, follow the show at the SWW show. Follow me at Mikey_Moni. Follow AJ at LoseyBoy. Member, subscribe, anchor.fm/SWW gets you to all of the links that you need to subscribe to those respective services. I believe that's it. AJ, do you have anything else for these fine, lovely people on this Saturday dreary morning?
Was Q Moonblood Sly's porn star name?
Jesus Christ.
Because it's under his alternate names.
I bet
And
you that's his Reddit name.
I don't know if it was, there's a rumor that Sly porn star.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Also, Sly's, what do you think his speech impediment is?
I don't know.
Like, because he had a stroke.
Right.
That is definitely in Creed 2.
Mm-hmm.
It can be kind of hard to understand what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But still pretty good. Definitely looking rough.
Okay. That'll be all, folks. This podcast was a product of the SWW Show. You can find more at the swwshow.com or facebook.com/the SWW store or twitter.com/SWW. You can find out more about Mike at Mikey_Maroney on Twitter and more about AJ at LoseyBoy on Twitter. Remember, new episodes come out twice a month, one focusing on the new entertainment news and one focusing on movie club, so new and an old movie. You can find out more again at the swwshow.com, and you can find the show on podcast services around the globe.